Hi, my name is Samantha Garner, author of The Quiet is Loud, which was published by Invisible Publishing this May. Thank you to Shelf Life Books for giving me this chance to read to you from the book and talk a little bit about it. So, The Quiet is Loud is the story of Freya. She is what is called, by people who don't like them, a veker. People like her are also called paradextrous by each other. So paradextrous people are part of a minority class of people in the society who have enhanced mental abilities. In Freya's case, her ability is she has prophetic dreams or visions. Now, when she has these dreams, as you might imagine, being that they're dreams, she has them when she's asleep. She doesn't remember them when she wakes up necessarily. She'll remember, or she'll be able to tell that she had some sort of dream the night before, but the content of the dream she has no idea of until something triggers it, until she remembers it somehow. She does this primarily in her day-to-day life through tarot card reading. She does this professionally. She likes tarot cards, just she always has her whole life, but they also give her a sort of outlet for her ability. And she often has prophetic dreams about her more regular clients, and in that way she can kind of help them with their lives and their problems without having to reveal that she had a prophetic dream about them, because, you know, that's not a safe thing for someone like her to do. So when we meet Freya in this chapter, she's waking up after a very strange evening in her life. The day before this, she'd gone to an ill-advised meetup.com deep fry party where she overheard people talking in very violent terms about vekers like her, and she also sort of caught the eye of a person at the party, which, while flattered her, also really spooked her. And I think that's all the setup you need for this. I should also say she does have one person in her life who she can trust with her secret, and that's her cousin Mary, who's known about Freya's ability all her life. What time was it? I reached for my phone on the nightstand, but the nightstand didn't feel right. I squinted my eyes open. My hand was on my coffee table. The laptop on my desk was open, the screen black. Bewildered, I looked down. I was wearing last night's jeans. My phone was on the floor, halfway under the couch. I slowly rolled up to a sitting position and pressed the soles of my feet firmly to the floor, forcing my focus on the rug, the roughness of its fibers, its comforting solidity. My movements stirred up a roil of nausea, and my brain clanged with dehydration. Those were the usual signs that, at some point the night before, I'd had a vision. But had I? I tried to weave back through what I remembered of my sleep, but my concentration brittled into nothing. My stomach wavered. I lurched into the kitchen and chugged a glass of water, trying to remember the day before. The deep fry party, was that really yesterday? Blue eyes, my old modeling photo, an overheard conversation, the rain. I came home and talked to Mary on the phone. I worked a bit, Onera chat. I did a private reading, then... what? I drank another glass of water, slower this time, and fished a reasonably fresh pita out of the fridge. I tore pieces off and ate, trying to remember more. Something was different about this experience. I felt wrong, misaligned. My nausea started to subside, and the feeling of brain desiccation eased. But I still only felt halfway aware of myself, like I had one ear underwater. A few of my cards had fallen to the floor. I picked them up. The Tower, Death, the Devil. Did they mean anything? No. None of them gave me any clue about what had happened last night. Despite myself, however, I felt a strange little twinge of significance. If this were a real reading, a spread consisting entirely of cards from the major arcana would suggest major events on the horizon. The Tower, lightning striking its walls. Flames, people falling from windows. Death, the skeletal reaper. The Devil, yellow eyes staring from the horned goat's black fur. Newcomers to tarot were always scared by these particular cards, an immediate, almost visceral reaction. For a moment, I saw them in the same shocking light. I grabbed the deck and went to my bedroom. There, I whipped the tidy blankets into disarray, nestled into bed. I took a few grounding breaths, then closed my eyes. I concentrated down through my fingers as I shuffled the cards, trying to sense out one that would give me an answer. There. I flicked it onto the bed and opened my eyes. The Lovers. I almost laughed. Everyone loves the Lovers. People always assumed its literal interpretation, success in romantic relationships. Ironic, considering I'd just run like a spooked deer from someone who'd showed interest in me. But no, this couldn't be about that. It didn't feel right. I traced my thumb along the card's smooth face. This particular deck's Lovers had a full-bodied 1970s earthiness. The man's hair was long, his beard substantial. The woman he held in his arms was pale with long red hair. Lilies surrounded them. It could have been a folk band's album cover, with more nudity. I had to admit it was a sexy card. But more than that, it was about connection, deep relationships of all kinds, being naked to someone, vulnerable yet accepted, searching, finding, being found, clarifying your values, what you want and what you need, what you stand for, searching, finding, being found. I turned the card face down on the blanket. Did I want to be found? Or was I doing the finding? The lack of clarity was unsettling, but there was something glimmering at the edges of my thoughts, something I was missing. And I'll leave it there because I think, to me, this shows Freya at probably one of the bigger turning points of a novel full of many turning points. In this novel, we see Freya considering emerging from her protective shell that she's created around herself out of necessity. She isn't excited about the thought of searching out there to see who else she can find, but she's starting to think about it for the first time ever. And for me, this was a very interesting point in which to meet Freya, because it's very easy for us to sort of think about what would cause someone like Freya, who has to live in hiding or at least under the radar for her own protection and safety. It's easy for us to think of someone like her and maybe give her too much credit or not enough credit. But I liked her at this point because I got to think about what could make her extend outward into the world the way she doesn't want to do, but also kind of wants to do. And I found writing that journey of Freya to be very rewarding and very interesting, and dredged up a lot of very interesting thoughts and emotions in myself personally. So that was that passage, and I hope you liked it. And if you would like to read more about this book, you can pick it up at your favorite local indie bookstore, such as Shelf Life Books, or even your local library. And invisiblepublishing.com is another great place to go for this book. And I also have a reading guide online at Invisible's website, which gives a little more insight into things I was thinking about when I wrote this book and sort of questions I wanted to answer in the writing of it. And once again, thank you to Shelf Life for this chance. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed what you read. And if you want to learn more about what I'm up to, you can find me on my website at samanthagarner.ca, and I'm on some social media as Samantha K. Garner. Thanks again, and I hope you're having a good day. Bye.